If I were to tell you that I know a 4-year-old that already knew 5 different writing systems, specifically hiragana, katakana, simple kanji, numbers, and the Latin alphabet, and this same baby had already mastered the basics of judo and was now free fighting in order to master it, you would think I'm talking about a superhuman genius, wouldn't you? But if I told you this baby was Ayano Koji Kiyotaka, would you suddenly think it doesn't matter? What if I told you I knew this other 4-year-old that already had the mental capacity of an adult and was currently having a philosophical discussion with their father? Now what if I told you I was talking about Sakayanagi? And what if I told you that Sakayanagi probably isn't even in the top 5 smartest in the story? Perhaps you might say that it's just that the series is written horribly and they never showcase their intelligence properly, but that is simply incorrect. All you would need to do is read through the light novels to know it is. As I said in my previous video, the anime cuts out and changes way too much content for it to be used in these discussions. To say that the series has only stupid or unimpressive characters compared to the other stories in the genre is blatantly false. And to say that their intelligence isn't written well enough would simply leave me with assuming that you're only judging from the lens of the anime. As it currently stands, with roughly 33 volumes, Classroom of the Elite should have around 3 million words total if it remained consistent with its length. And it hasn't even finished yet. So there's no way for me to give a full analysis in one video. But the entire claim would simply fail the moment I bring up any of these characters. Each of them would be considered geniuses if compared to real-world standards. And anyone who read the story would know what I mean immediately. However, I don't think getting into the nitty-gritty of intelligence scaling is the correct way to fix this bit of misinformation, because then it would devolve into a surface-level feat contest. Most people who make this claim tend to compare these characters to characters from other intelligence-based shows, and then try to use vague feats to get their point across. I often see things like Light Yagami from Death Note was outsmarting the FBI, which is way better than a bunch of high schoolers outsmarting each other. Or Johann Liebert manipulated someone into ending themselves and convinced the best detective that he didn't even exist. These are great feats, but they are not argument enders. If we all scaled in such an atrociously simple manner, then I could say something like, Lloyd Forger could beat Yuji Itadori in a fist fight because he is a trained spy, while Yuji is just a high schooler. And it would be accepted as correct. This obviously makes no sense because what is normal for one story can be different for another. And that is the exact reason I don't want to just start throwing out feats randomly, because anyone who needs to hear it will just shrug it off. I will almost certainly do in-depth intelligence scales for their characters in the future, so if you are interested, feel free to stay tuned. Have a nice day.